Hello. It is currently 2:30 a.m. I really should be asleep right now, but unfortunately, the medication that I'm on, if you stop taking it and then suddenly take it again, can cause really bad insomnia because I'm a dumbass who doesn't take his meds. So I'm awake and I am thinking about video games as I often do. And the video game in question now is Bethesda's upcoming game, Starfield. Now, if you don't know, and you couldn't tell by this masterpiece, I'm a bit of a fan of Skyrim. I think I have around 1,200 hours put into it. It's probably at least my top 3 games of all time. It's definitely the game that I've played the longest, that I've played the most. I've also played through the entirety of Fallout 4 and some of Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. I've also played through, I think, about half of Oblivion. I played the first 10 minutes of Morrowind, and then I got stressed out because the controls were hard. I'm not by any means a Bethesda hater. I have bought Skyrim at least 5 times, maybe more. Hard to say at this point. I bought Fallout 4 at least twice, so I've given them my money. I've given them a lot of my money. So this does not come from a place of being a Todd Howard hater. This comes from a place of being just a hater of Starfield. And I honestly haven't seen all of the trailers or whatever. I haven't really been paying super close attention to any news surrounding Starfield. I don't really watch like the update videos. I basically just know the bare surface level because it does not look interesting. And also the thing is that it's not just nostalgia of being like, I only like the series that I know, because I'm willing to try new games. I would say also one of my top 3, I think it's pretty much tied between Skyrim, Dragon Age 2, and Cyberpunk 2077, which was absolutely, I don't really play like more contemporary games that just take place in like cities, and like I don't play GTA. I've tried it and I don't like it. But like I really like Cyberpunk 2077. It's one of my all-time favorite games. I've played The Outer Worlds. I haven't finished it, but Dragon's Dogma, Kingdoms of Amalur. I like trying new games, and if they, catch my attention because of stories or characters or whatever. But literally nothing about Starfield seems interesting. The story, what bare bones I know about it, sounds just so basic, by the books, sci-fi space story, and I haven't seen literally anything about the characters. So that doesn't get me interested or especially excited. And then one of my main gripes with this upcoming game, is the aesthetic decisions and the art direction of it. Because I don't know if you've seen pictures. I'll probably try to insert them somewhere in this video. Like, I fully can't tell if these are supposed to be different planets, and that's bad design. Like, the fact that I can't differentiate if these are supposed to be the same planet or different planets, that's not good planet design. I don't know, like, they look so samey. But it is so fucking dull. Like, it's beiges and browns and washed outs, and I know a lot of the Bethesda games do have a more of a washed out, low saturation aesthetic, like Fallout, for example. That's very much the aesthetic. But that definitely feels like an intentional choice, because Fallout is a post-nuclear apocalypse setting. So it makes sense for the world to be a blasted heath that's pretty like lifeless, and for all the colors to be washed out because they've been affected by nuclear fallout, And even Skyrim, it has a very distinctive aesthetic, and it's a little bit more washed out, especially compared to Oblivion, but it's not, completely dead and colorless. And it also feels, it's a colder environment. It feels thematically fitting for Skyrim, and that might be a little bit of nostalgia goggles because I like Skyrim. But I feel like with space games, and specifically like exploration themed games, you need to have color. Like, I think the game that I've played a lot of is Mass Effect 1, and the variety and color of those planets are so, they look pretty. Like the four or so varieties look really nice, and I've gotten a few like really nice photo mode pictures of them. This came out in 2007, and I think technically this is Legendary Edition, so it's a little bit better graphics and higher quality, all that kind of thing. But like, this game looks so much better than Starfield. The images that we have of Starfield are so, it just looks like you took a picture of like, not even like Utah, because Utah has those really pretty rock formations and like the red kind of desert aesthetic. And it's just so dull and beige and white and like minimalistic. I just like, I can't get behind it as a fun space game. And the thing is, I know obviously we haven't seen all the planets that can possibly exist. But also, when you're advertising a game and you're showing like what it has, you would want to show the cool stuff, right? To get people to want it. So if this is what they're showing, this is like the stuff that they want to highlight. Number one, if it is like these boring planets are outliers, why would you just show the boring planets? And number two, I forgot what I was going to say. It's 2 a.m. I don't know what you want from me. Almost 3 a.m. actually. I think that's my main thing, is that it doesn't really seem to have any aesthetic cohesion, and from like the tone of what I gather from the game, which the tone seems to be fairly standard, space exploration fair, it doesn't fit the tone of it. Doesn't seem like a super edgy, like, you know, very like grounded game. It seems like it's supposed to be like a fun space exploration game. But even like games that are a little bit more, I don't know if edgy is the word, but a little bit subversive, like The Outer Worlds, for example, is very like, kind of shows the darker side of like space exploration, sort of is a little bit of like a very bare bones surface level, but like a little bit of a criticism of colonialism and like kind of like corporate overreach and that kind of thing. It's very colorful, and it's a fun like juxtaposition of like all these beautiful colors and this beautiful aesthetic and art direction that The Outer Worlds has, compared with this very dark, like realistic corporate stranglehold on the universe. And I think that's a very cool art direction, and I like that. And same with, I think, Borderlands, which I haven't played a lot of, to be honest, but I haven't like fully played it. But from what I gather and what I know about Borderlands, it seems to have a similar sort of like aesthetic juxtaposition with the themes and plot, which I think is fun. And I don't know if they were just trying to like differentiate themselves from No Man's Sky, because No Man's Sky is, from what I've seen, very colorful and very pretty, aesthetically speaking. And I don't know if they just wanted to distance themselves from that in terms of aesthetics, but it really just comes across as nothing about the game strikes my interest. It's not aesthetically interesting. The story seems boring. It just feels so generic, and it honestly doesn't feel like a Bethesda game, but this one just feels literally so generic AAA game. It doesn't look good. And also the pre-order is like $100. So like, Bethesda, the fuck. So yeah, this is a very rambly video of my opinion on Starfield that literally no one asked for. Honestly, if you have other ideas of bullshit you want me to rant about, I have opinions on basically everything, and if I don't, I can make one up. So leave it in the comments below what you want me to rant about, and maybe I'll do it. Remember to subscribe or don't. I think I just recently hit 300 subscribers, which is weird. I don't know what's up with that. Why are you here? I don't have any consistency in my content. I stop like snapping and shit. I don't know what I'm doing.